Alright. Been messing with the camera too much. I'll try to keep this around 20 minutes. We'll see. First shot, no rehearsal. Charlie Kirk. I stepped away from this. I wanted to gather my thoughts. Less so compare and contrast other people's thoughts because I am my own person and I had all of my own opinions on the matter already. But let's just get into it. I got my cheat notes. So narrative. Obviously, deeper division. I personally believe that this was a joint effort. I don't think the shooter Tyler Robinson, uh, who apparently used a 30-06, I don't think he did it alone. And frankly, I don't know if I believe that a 30-06 made that wound. People speculated vest possibly being used. To me, the video I saw, it looked like the shooter might have been aiming for the head or even center mass and missed, hitting Charlie in the neck. And you know what? Working alone or not, very unlikely, in my opinion. How are you going to prove it or disprove it with AI? You know, anything. I saw a few pictures suggesting this guy was elsewhere during the time of shooting, or or several minutes after, at a Dairy Queen or something. I mean, he could have drove, but it's just, how are you going to prove or disprove anything in today's day and age when you have something like AI that can put you anywhere at any point in time? You know, we have all sorts of like traffic cameras that, and I'm not talking just the ones on the street lights that catch your plate. I'm talking like they literally have these things that uh, track your vehicle wherever you go, and they're all over the place, especially in cities. But even in some rural towns and like smaller, it's everywhere. It's so they could put you anywhere at any time, and they could also have caught him on actual camera. And who are we to, be able to tell the difference anymore? It's very stupid, and I think one of the things they'll do, they're going to either prove he was there from manipulating a system, or later on disprove any involvement from them manipulating the system. So either way, it's a lose-lose situation, in my opinion. And why are we still talking about it? It's been like a week or two removed at this point, and it's the only freaking thing I'm seeing on, and I avoided following this whole thing literally mostly because I didn't want to see uh, a dead person's name dragged through the mud. I didn't want to witness that, whether you believed in him or not, or the two other people that got set. Were they senators or Congress people? The married couple that got shot in their house. You know, whether you believe in them or not, whether you believe in the guy who was assassinated, who was affiliated with Board of Health, or he was up there with some, the Luigi assassination, like the shooting. He was the assassin, not assassinated. The Luigi guy who killed that dude. You agree with the killing. It. I didn't want to have to witness people's insanity on the matter at that point in time. But now that I'm a few weeks removed, giving my opinion out, I think for sure no one's gonna let a thing go to waste. They're not gonna let a good crisis go to waste. They're gonna capitalize on it. And you know what? Generally speaking, I think the loudest guy in the room is usually the one who did it. Take that for what you will. Yeah, I mean, besides the algorithm and the sleight of hand that's going on behind the scenes, the fact that people are still fixated. Now, granted, if he was someone you looked up to, that could be rough. And in the Bible, I think it says something along the lines of 30 days to mourn. So, you could dwell on it for the month, but after that, how much further does it need to go? Something to think about. What we missed out on while this was all going down. Some of you may have heard about this stuff, some of you haven't. There was that thing with the silent vote with Epstein's list that they're not going to come out with the entirety of it. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But apparently that happened. We have the Evergreen High School shooting in Colorado. As far as I'm aware, 2 victims were shot, and then the shooter himself was shot. Maybe turned the gun on himself. I'm not familiar. Protests in France. I believe the day after. We have game devs stirring trouble. A lot of people sharing, again, their opinions on the matter. And just in a negative kind of way. We had people on the Blue Sky app calling for more conservative deaths. I am all about freedom of speech, and people getting fired over the crisis at hand. It's kind of pointless to me, but inciting violence, like these guys on the Blue Sky app, that's a no-go. That should be looked into further. And I'm sure it is. I'm sure I'm being looked into. All encompassing this, whether this is connected or not, doubtably, but again, don't let a good crisis go to waste. Something you probably haven't heard. DARPA, the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency, DARPA is preparing for World War III to happen in 3 years. Is basically the lead up to World War III in 3 years. what I want you to do is go look up Bear Independent, prepping for war with China, 36 months to go time. Uh, what a title, am I right? No, essentially, the cliff notes of his 44-minute video, he was introduced, or, introduced, caffeine indicated. He was invited on a Zoom chat with like 70 other people to collaborate, do some trainings with DARPA in preparation for a war of, well, World War III specifically, within a 36-month time span. And in that video, he tells you all the unclassified, open source intelligence. This stuff is open to the public. But I trust in him, not only because he was in the call, but it seems he's going to be partnering up with them. Hasn't confirmed or denied that yet, but it seems as if he is preparing to do medical trainings for them. His particular expertise that DARPA likes is the medical aspect of the TCCC stuff, the tactical casualty combat care. He's probably the best in the business right now. Or at least enough people think he is that DARPA asked him and not his competitors to do trainings with. So, in any event, all the Charlie Kirk stuff, all the nonsense going on in the world. We didn't even talk about the missile strike that happened like 2 days after. There's so much happening right now that you're not going to get everything all encompass, everything you need in time to, like, let me rephrase that. You're not going to be able to absorb all the information and sift through the nonsense with the applicable by being in the middle of it. You have to have standoff. And that's what I did. I tried to avoid as many of those videos and things as I could to take a minute, take a breath, think logically from my point of view, or maybe the point of view of the bad guys even. How could this be used? And I think people are falling right into the trap. I think people are excuse me. I think people are way too wrapped up, way too tight in the axles to understand that he's a guy. The Charlie Kirk's a dude. Just like me. Just like anyone else out in the world. He's as special as you and I. And the mob mentality behind all the negativity, or the worship even, my goodness, just be as, politically correct as, no, be as objective as possible. This is a guy who a bunch of people looked up to, who got assassinated in front of those people that looked up to him, and some of the opposing. I'm sure opposing people were at the rally too. Of course there were. He got shot, right? And now it throws people deeper into that divide. They're gonna martyr him. You know, a lot of people are inciting violence in support of Kirk, and it's like mind-blowing to me, because I'm not going to say he didn't incite violence himself, for the pen is mightier than the sword, and don't get me wrong, First Amendment right all the way. But how many policies was he a part of that didn't help out the masses? You know, these are things people don't think about. And I'm not going to get into a bunch because I don't know myself. But it did seem, or so I've heard, that as he was starting to change his mindset to a different than his constituents, immediately that's when he got dealt with. So that's something to think about too. I personally believe the people who were the loudest were a part of this. And I don't think that they're gonna help you. You know, you're your own first responder. No one in the upper echelons of government cares. We go into countries all the time, train up guerrillas to overthrow their governments, go in, take out the rest of the guerrillas, and then control the government of that nation. Well, if there's 4,000 known terrorist cells in America right now, seems like a lot of guerrillas can be trained up. If it's a minimum of 4 people per cell, that's a lot of people to train other people to overthrow its own government, to incite a civil war. And it's not going to be left versus right, red versus blue. There won't be any sort of distinguished, it won't be distinct. It ain't gonna be a good versus evil. It's gonna be groups and groves of different warlords fighting each other. And then after they're done fighting each other, someone else gonna come in, take out the rest, and then own the place. I'm seeing a pattern. I don't know about you. But we're getting to be about time, so let me just let you off with this. What are you going to do about World War III? Me? I'm going to get fitter. You can't be too fit. I'm going to work out today. I'm going to try to get some more ammo. I need more of that squared away. I need my commo squared away. I'm going to get trained in medical. My class is coming up in November. And then I'm going to try as immediately after that as possible to learn prolonged field care. Because if you watch that video, Bear Independent, prepping for war with China, 36 months to go time, one of the things DARPA was talking about was how there won't be the golden hour anymore. Basically, you won't have the time to get them to the hospital where the doctors are, because there won't be any. And that's a scary thought. Because then you realize, besides the fact that help isn't coming, you can't get to help. I already knew help wasn't coming, not in time anyway. But now I can't get to any help? That's when my heart sunk. So yeah, working out, eating clean as I can, getting to know my God better, hanging out with friends, hanging out with family, executing on the aspirations that I intended to have done by now, but the state of the world right now, how everything is with the costs, just didn't pan out. So yeah, I hope you guys take the time, don't freak out, better yourselves. I hope you understand that, no matter what happens, even if it's the end of the world as we know it, there's still going to be a world. It just won't look like anything we've seen before. Now, I don't want to survive. I want to thrive. And to do that amongst ruins means I got to be pretty squared away. So, I hope this encourages you guys to also get squared away. Don't be afraid. Have a level of concern to help motivate you, to really get you on the ball, to get moving. You can do anything. It just takes one word. Start. That's something TJ's dad told him. Now I'm telling you guys. So, faith over fear. Take care now.